Hello, welcome to MS Access tutorial, and this lesson will be focusing on how to create an aggregate query. This tutorial is created by an author, Mr. Mahit Khan, and in this lesson we'll be focusing on introduction to aggregate query, calculating a group of query records from datasheet view, from design view, grouping with criteria and calculated fields, and we'll be also talking about common pitfall of summarizing data. So this would be the main points of this lesson. And an introduction to aggregate queries. A definition of aggregate is a sum, mass, or assemblage group of particulars, a total or gross amount, a group of subset of records. This is the definition of aggregate. As we can see that in Microsoft Access, our data is row wise. We can take line total to the most right column. We can take make a calculated field, and we can apply an aggregation on that. And we can summarize our data column wise as well. We can use all the below SQL aggregate functions: average, sum, count, standard deviation, minimum, maximum, variance, first, last. These all are the function of SQL. We can also use the below built-in function. Sum adds the field values, average of the field values, minimum lowest minimum field value, maximum highest maximum field value, count of the values records, standard deviation of the field value including date time fields, variance of the field value including date time. So we can use these function from datasheet view. The function of SQL that I have mentioned, we can apply it from the datasheet view, and we can also apply the set function from the design view. It is more flexible to make an aggregate query from the design view. So first we will be making some aggregate function applying on the query and the from the design view, from the datasheet view, as it is very simple to apply the aggregate function from the datasheet view. I'm going to open my database summarizing query data. And this database is, we are going to open the query. As we can see that the data is summarized on the book title and the retail price and then the sale price. In order to summarize the data here and make it an aggregate, we'll have to activate that auto sum button, and the total will be by default appears. And when we right click, we can see that drop down box opened, and we can select from here average, sum, maximum, minimum, standard deviation, and variance. As I selected average, and this is not applicable, very less options are available for the text field, and we can see that much more fields and much more options are available for the numeric field. So the aggregate is much more working easily on the numeric field. For the text field, only the count is available. If we can select count, it would simply the count the records which is displayed on the screen, and it is been count. Now in the most left column, we can see the total is written. When we activate this auto sum button, the total is appeared by default. But if we open the drop down box, we can see that for the ID field also, those all fields are available which were available for the retail price and sale price. As they were numeric, so is the ID field numeric. And when we select, for example, sum or count from the drop down list, it is applied on the customer ID field. It isn't writing average, as we have selected average for the retail price and the sale price. You can say it is a little bit drawback, but if we can select none, we can see the total is by default appeared. So this total is indicating average and count and minimum and maximum and sum. The total word is used for all the summaries. So this is how we can apply an aggregate function from the datasheet view. So it is easy, but we can see that it is limited. We cannot do much, but we can use only the already given and built-in functions in the datasheet view. So in order to go in further detail, we would like to analyze the aggregate function from design view. We have much more options from the design view. As I have opened the query, there are two field, book title and quantity, and there are a lot of records, somewhat 3,000 records. But I move to the design view. As we can see a lot of records, but if we can move to the design view, you can see that there are 4 tables are selected. Though we can see that the 2 fields are selected from TBL books and from TBL order detail, and we do not need the other 2 table right now, but we will be needing them in a minute, so let them be there. And look at this, that the 2 fields that are selected. So in order to insert an aggregate in the query from design view, we have to activate that auto sum button, the sigma sign. We have to activate you can see that the label total appeared, and then we can see that we need the field that is selected, the group by and group by appeared. So we have selected sum, and the query is grouped on the book title. Let's run the query to see. Here we can see that the query is grouped on the book name, and the quantity of that book is summed. Is we can see that the lifetime total book sold appeared on the name of the book in front of the name of the every book. So that's how we can apply some aggregate function from the design view. Let's go back to the design view and see what else we can do here. Let's delete this field, the book title field, and insert the city and state field. Let's run the query, and now we can see that once again we have received some more records because a single books is sold in every state. So that's why the book name is repeating appearing. As per rule, the book name should be grouped and shouldn't be appear more than once. But since that the same book is sold in another state, so that's why it's also grouping on the state name. So that's why we got some more records. By viewing this data, we can see that every state is shown, and it is also grouped where there is the quantity found grouped, and book and the state is the same, and then quantity is we can see that it is sum, like 2, 4 and 2 can be seen many times. So there's the another way of making some inserting some aggregate function from the design view. Let's move back to the design view and see that let us delete these two fields, the state and the city, and let us this time insert the transaction date field. By double clicking the transaction date field, or we can click and hold it and release it in the lower panel, and now we can see that the data is grouped on the date and the quantity is summed in front of the every date, and we can see that those are the books which sold on the same date. Still a lot of number of records. Let's move back to the design view and change our data. For example, we can insert the first name, the middle initial, and the last name. And let us delete this date field and now run the query. How does it look like? Oh, here we can see that we have still a huge number of records. This just because that our customer are ordered only one book. So the data is equal to the number of customer, because mainly our customer order just only one book. So if we have delete all these three fields, and insert the book title, and let's see the data. So we came back to the original data, which is group on the book name, and the book sold lifetime is shown in front of the every book. So this is how we can insert an aggregate function from the design view. Let's move back to the design view. And as we can see that there are many ways. You can see that there are as we can see 25 records are there. Let's get a little bit complicated and insert the transaction date here. And we would like to see the records only for 2009. We would like to aggregate and group the records by 2009. See, when we have inserted the date, all the records are shown and different dates. But we do not want to see all the dates, as we want to see only the record from 2009. So we'll have to change our criteria in order to let's move back to the design view and change our criteria. For example, here I am inserting a where class, and down below I want to give, because many people will think that we will give here a 2009 and Microsoft Access will fetch us the data, but it's not the case. It will not fetch any data. Let's run the query. You can see it is empty because it isn't that easy. For this case, we can give a single complete date because this is the transaction field, and we cannot give only month here. We cannot give only year here under the transaction date field, and we will have to give a complete date, a date which is exist in the data, because this time the date which I am writing does not exist in the data. When I run the query, I will not get any data. Let's move back to the design view and remove this field in order to see which date is exist. Let's insert the date field, run the query. So we can see that date is exist. Copy. I'm going to copy this date and selecting here the where class, and now I'm inserting my date. And when I run the query, you can see that I will get one record, the book which is sold in this date, and 14 copy of the book is sold in that same date. So that is one way of giving your criteria in the date field. You can also use a between here. A between, though I did not use it here, but we can use a between here. But if we have to achieve that criteria to see our data grouped on 2009, for this we'll have to write a new calculated field. So in order to write a new calculated field, we'll have to open an expression builder. We'll have to do the right click, we can find it in the ribbon, the expression builder, but if we can do the right click, the expression builder is given here. You can see here the expression builder. Open it. In here we will be using the built-in function of Microsoft Access by clicking on this function button. Function, built-in function, date and time function. There are many other function, the sub part of the date function are available, but I'm going to select a date time function, and then I'm going to select that date part built-in function. Here we'll have to write first the year, which is the part of the date part function. We'll be writing colon, we'll be writing a quotation mark, y, quotation mark, comma, square bracket, and then the name of the field, the transaction date, and then closing the square bracket and removing the other parts of the already made part of the built-in function, date part. So let's run this expression, date part, y, comma, transaction date. Press the OK button, and that's how it's inserted, a new field. When we run this, the query, Oops, there is one parenthesis missing. Insert the parenthesis. Now when we run the query, we'll fetch the data. But what is this? We got whole of the years 2007, 2008, 2009 and 2010. We got all the data, and we don't want this all the data. We just want 2009. For this we'll be giving the where class, and now down there we'll be writing 2009. Now when we run our query, we'll be able to see that the book which are sold in 2009 are shown here. But to see that the data is really for 2009, we'll have to show when we select the where class, then we are not allowed to show that field in our data sheet view. So we'll have to change this to group, and then now we can show this field. Run the query and you can see that 2009 is written here so cleanly. But it is a repeatable function. I think it wouldn't be looking very good in the report. So we don't want to show this field, and we can change our criteria anytime. Look at this, 2009 and the same data. Uncheck these books. Now when we run the query, we can see that this data is for 2009. When where class is selected, then we are not allowed to show the field. So this point should be remembered and should be noted. If you want to show the field, then you are not supposed to select the where class. Though the field is not shown where there is the where class selected, but the effect is applied. We know that this data is for 2009. So is for 2008. So is for 2007. Now this is our aggregate query on a calculated field, and this data was for 2007. So that's how we can apply the aggregate function, aggregate expression on a calculated field. I hope guys you understand this. It is not that difficult. A calculated field can be made on date, can be made on quantity, can be made on retail price, can be made on any numeric field or even on a text field. So far is concerned, we can count the text field as well. So let's talk a little bit about the pitfall in the data. Summarizing data. We'll be opening the pitfall database. Enable the data. We'll be using this query. We can see that the field item ID, the fiction, and the book titles are given. As we are analyzing this, so we can see that this data is displayed because of this query. The two tables are selected and the three fields are selected from these two fields: customer ID, book ID, genre ID, and genre from the TBL genre, and the book title is selected from the TBL book. In result, we get this data. Or we can see that the fiction book is shown 12 title of books. But if we deselect this auto sum button, now we run the query, we can see that this one record is just for test purpose. In fact, we have only 11 books in the fiction genre. We don't have 12. This one record is inserted just for test purpose. So in order to analyze your data accurately, before you aggregate your data, you should analyze your data in the without aggregate form to see that data is correct. So this is one method of analyzing your data. And to find out the mistake in your data, you can see it in the aggregate. You can then deselect this auto sum button and view your data and find out, see it, that the data is really correct. To go more in detail, we'll find out that how Microsoft Access aggregating data. As you can see, we got here 25 records, and we have selected first name, last name, and the order ID. And the order ID, which is greater than 1, it means that the customer ordered more than one book at a time. So it happened 25 times that a customer ordered more than one book. Now, for example, if I insert a customer ID in this customer ID, you will find out that the number of records will change. Though the same table are displayed, now we can see that there are only 11 records. What happened? Why these records are decreased? This is because there are same names. When we do not include the ID, then Microsoft count them separately. But when we insert the customer ID, then Microsoft find out that this is not a separate record, but it is group by ID, and recognize it that that this makes different. So the point is that by selecting fields from the same tables can display a different data. So be careful with this. And like for example, the customer ID field here is making a difference, and that is because of the duplicate names, the names that are appearing time and again. For example, this James one time, James second time, James third time, James fourth time appearing. But when we apply an aggregate on the first name, so then the James is the same, and the last name you can see also group by. So it's make a difference because too much similarity not found in the second name, but the first name is similar in many records. But when the customer ID applied, then Microsoft Access realized that there is a difference, and the real data is somewhat different. So be careful with these pitfalls when you are making an aggregate query. Test your query result time and again. Try insert different fields and test your data. This would be helpful. So guys, I think this would be very helpful for you. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and like my videos, as I'm going in schedule to bring you more videos. So see you in my next video, guys. Bye bye.